So broadly, I think we're at an inflection point as a profession and as an organization. So the SOA, just like any other professional organization, creates value for our stakeholders in a variety of ways. First, we serve as a nexus for a two-sided marketplace between employers and candidates. So what that means is that there has to be demand from both sides, demands from candidates for the SOA designation and demands from employers for actuaries who've been credentialed or educated by the SOA. Second, we serve as a trusted and unbiased source of research and professional conduct for policymakers, regulators, and the general public. So this means, again, there must be demand for the research and professionalism that we produce and a strong brand identity associated with that. And then third, we provide a professional community for our members to engage with. So this, again, means there must be demand for these opportunities amongst our members. So when I say we're at an inflection point, what I mean is that there are warning signs that the demand from our stakeholders in these three areas is waning, which could be an indication that the value we're creating is not hitting the mark as needs and expectations evolve. To put an even finer point on it, the board and the staff have been tracking a troubling trend in some of our core KPIs that measure our vitality as an organization. The first is the number of first-time exam takers, because this is a signal of the relevance of our credential to prospective candidates. And we've seen this trending down for many years. Another is the percentage of members who are engaged in section activities. And again, there's been a flat or downward trend on this for many years. Now, like any good actuary, I recognize that challenges and opportunities really are two sides of the same coin. So while these challenges need to be addressed with urgency, we do have an opportunity to act now to respond. Many of these issues have been identified during the long-term growth strategy process that I helped usher forward during my time on the board. And we have specific initiatives being put in place to address them. So when it comes to demand for the SOA designation by candidates, we have an opportunity to modernize and modularize the way that we deliver education. We can create micro-credentials that allow members to enhance specific skills as the needs of the marketplace evolve. And we can redouble our efforts on diversity, equity, and inclusion to expand the pipeline of potential members, which in turn will create a more vibrant and well-rounded membership. And when it comes to demand from employers, we have an opportunity to deliver broader skills that reflect the rapid advances in technology and data science, and also incorporate business and softer skills like communication, negotiation, strategic thinking, and judgment. And we have the opportunity to strengthen our brand by highlighting the rigor, professionalism, and quality of SOA members. And then when it comes to demand from other stakeholders, we have an opportunity to focus our research efforts where the SOA brand and SOA member skills can create unique and scalable value, like we've seen throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. We can facilitate industry-wide conversations on important topics, including the ethical use of data. And we can work collegially and cooperatively with our colleagues and other actuarial organizations around the world to advance the needs of the profession. All of these objectives are achievable over the longer term, and the initiatives that we must execute over the shorter term are within our control. As president of the SOA, I'll ensure that the organization understands the urgency of this moment and that we focus our efforts for impact so the SOA remains relevant and vibrant for decades to come. So first of all, I know both of the other nominees very well, and I have great admiration and respect for their years of service to the SOA and to the actuarial profession. The SOA has been and continues to be blessed by an engaged group of volunteers, and regardless of how the election turns out, as a member, I have great confidence that the organization is in good hands. Now, having said that, I'm obviously asking you for your vote, so let me highlight a few things about my background that I think are unique and relevant to the biggest issues the SOA is currently facing. So first of all, I do have executive leadership experience. I've led both large and small teams over the years, and I've learned how to collaboratively work to move projects from idea generation all the way through to execution. I've also worked in global roles, meaning both that I've led global teams, but I've also spent a lot of time traveling and working with clients in other countries and other cultures. I think this perspective is especially important as the SOA continues to build its brand and growth strategy in markets outside of North America. Second is the area of strategy. Now, the SOA, you've heard a lot about this. The SOA has embarked on an ambitious long-term growth strategy, which I'm proud to have helped work on during my time on the board. My role currently as Chief of Staff at RGA, I work very closely with our CEO and all of our business and functional leaders to help develop, execute, and monitor our strategy, including tracking our progress against key metrics and identifying and responding to emerging trends that may cause us to revise or realign our strategic priorities. The SOA is at a critical point in our history, and as the next leader of the SOA, I'll bring strategic thinking skills and experience in implementing the strategic plan. The third area I'd highlight is around research. And the SOA's mission statement, I always like to remind people of this, starts with the words through education and research, which highlights the importance of research in the SOA's brand and in the value that we create for stakeholders as a trusted, independent, data-driven provider of research content. My background is also in research. I was the first global head of research and development at RGA, and I've served on the SOA's Research Executive Committee and many other research project oversight groups. In addition, I led several seminal research projects over the years, including the first published experience study on post-level term insurance and the first mortality studies on the use of prescription drug histories and motor vehicle records in underwriting. In my time on the board, I was a strong advocate for enhancing the scalable value that research can create for our members and other stakeholders, and I'll continue to focus on that if I'm elected president. And then the third area I would talk about is emerging areas of importance to the SOA and to the actuarial profession. We're definitely in a time of rapid innovation with predictive analytics and insurtech serving both as opportunities and as threats to the traditional role of actuaries. I bring a background in data analytics, having built and led RGA's global data analytics practice. I've worked with companies around the world to advance the use of data science to supplement traditional actuarial and underwriting approaches. I've also been on the front lines of the growth in insurtech, launching and serving as the first CEO of RGAX, an insurance and insurtech accelerator. It's given me an opportunity to work with and mentor many startup founders who are bringing new ideas and approaches to the insurance industry. It's important in these emerging areas that we not put our heads in the sand. This is a very rapidly evolving area, but actuaries do have an important and valuable role to play if we can seize on the opportunity. So first, it's important to recognize the SOA already is a global organization. Much of our membership and our membership growth has and will continue to come from China, Greater Asia, Latin America, and other select international markets. So to me, expanding membership isn't necessarily the goal, but it is the end result that we'll see if we create value for our members in these markets. So how do we do that? We often hear that actuaries need to work on our soft skills, and I'd say this is a great opportunity to put that to work, specifically our listening and empathy skills. We need to engage with our international members and listen to what's working well and what needs to be adjusted. There's been a lot of great work already done on this by the China, the Greater Asia, and the Latin American committees, but I think we can continue to build on this. At a high level, many of the membership needs, such as professionalism, research, continuing education, these transcend boundaries, but the specific approaches for delivering value to our members needs to be targeted and relevant. Another important part of delivering value is building strong relationships with local actuarial organizations, with universities, and with local clubs to identify where the SOA can plug in to create unique value. This may look different than the model that we have in North America, but it'll certainly build on our brand and on our core values. When determining how best to deploy limited organizational resources for competing priorities, it's important to focus on scale and impact, both for the near term and for the longer term. We must maintain our focus and commitment to the needs of our US and Canadian members, who will definitely continue to be the largest portion of our active membership for the near term. But at the same time, we must continue to invest for the future with targeted resources that build on our international membership growth and engagement momentum. The vision statement in the current SOA strategic plan says that actuaries should be highly sought after professionals who develop and communicate solutions for complex financial issues. Being highly sought after and being able to communicate complex solutions means that we must be best in class, both in our technical skills as well as our business and communication skills. We start from a position of strength because the quality of candidates who are interested in becoming actuaries has traditionally been so strong. But as competition from other fields intensifies, the options for high school and university students have continued to increase. So to react to this, we must more closely align how we deliver value through research, through education, through continuing professional development, with the needs and expectations of potential employers of actuaries and with other stakeholders. So this means that we're going to need to execute on many of the things underway with the strategic plan, including modularization of education, with micro-credentialing, and with increasing our focus on business and softer skills. If we're able to do this, I'm confident that we'll be able to live up to that vision statement.